Are you used to just going through life, taking orders from others, content with just following for the sake of pleasing those so you don't have to put any thought behind your actions so you can just float by and exist through life at the bare minimum? Of course you're not! You're ready to bear your things at the world! Even though I've been around for a long time, when it comes to the anime community, world, sphere, whatever you want to call it, and even though I've seen a lot of shows, and I mean a lot of shows, there were still some seasons in the past I never fully explored, due to either the big flashy show of that season binding me hard, not caring about anything other than massive anime tits in action, or watching the 900th power fantasy slop that fueled my teenage body back then, which let me engage in max bedroom rotting even harder than I do now. Recently, I went back and made a list of all the shows I missed out on, and have been steadily working my way through some classics, or those which just happened to catch my eye during the making of this list. Even though we have so many amazing shows coming out faster and more plentiful than ever, I find it can put some initial stress on someone for not being up to date on the big new pieces of the season. I personally find it as a good meditation to go back and watch some of the shows that have been long past their glory hours, limiting myself from consuming the new stuff right as it drops. It's a good precedent to set for yourself, to not forget about those once amazing things which paved the road for what we have now, and actually enjoy and embrace the stories you just witnessed to their fullest. Since there is no looming FOMO from the online world about said entertainment, it really gives that air of enjoyment for the sake of enjoyment. It's not about the clout or I made a post about this first title. Speaking of titles, would you like to be known as King of Beasts, best of the best, most brutal killer, strongest in the world? Well, I welcome you to Killing Bites. An anime not just about the half-human animal hybrids that live within the world, but an anime about learning to fight for your future and what you believe in, fighting hard to figure out how not to let others make your life choices for you and tread your own path. For many centuries, underground to the death fights have been hosted by the four leading families which have ruled over Japan for as long as it takes your average romance anime to actually make any progress, let alone your average romance consumer actually asking somebody out. After they got tired of human blood sport matches, they decided to up the ante and make it more extreme. Theranthropes, the genetic mutation of humans and when mixed with animals, allowing them to transform and use the powers of those animals they are mixed with, creating a new class, not just a fighter, but civilian at the end of the day. And you already know furries to be lined up out the door for this shit. Following Nomoto, a normal college student with nothing really going on for himself in his life, is met with a tragic but life-changing twist of fate one night, being asked to drive some old acquaintances around town for a night of picking up girls, when in reality they have tricked him into being their driver for their own twisted fun. After these members of society try and pick up a high school girl, things turn brutal unbelievably quick, nearly at the same speed at which modern-day anime or gaming companies have been willingly sending themselves into the grave. Even though he was supposed to be killed, this was his first meeting with Hitomi, a Red Theranthrope rookie who's climbing her way up the ladder as a Killing Bites fighter. After witnessing an up-close battle between Hitomi and Leo, one of the strongest Theranthropes, this night was all he needed to lead him into the world of being a sponsor for Hitomi so she can participate in the biggest fight, the Destroyale, a brutal and merciless team battle royale, where each three-man team are moved like chess pieces on a board by their sponsor. One wrong move by them can lead to their death. This show moves like a fucking bullet train, almost as fast as me when I beat my dick wallet during a new gacha banner. And on top of that speed, it feels like watching Baki or JJK mixed with JoJo's at certain points, because they do the exact same batshit crazy out-of-pocket explanation about abilities of everyone's animals that they're mixed with when they hit some obscure crazy move. After Hitomi starts rooming with Naomi, after the bureau that controls the creation of most Theranthropes deems it necessary, this starts his new daily life of dealing with everything involved with Theranthropes to begin with. Things like getting jumped constantly, no matter where, traumatized by everyone, not knowing who's a Theranthrope or just who's on his side in general, worried he might get killed or someone else severely hurt due to his own lack of strength and resolve, the outside world figuring out Theranthropes are even real to begin with, stressing out to the max. This dude was just out getting groceries and then was flashed by a respectable young lady that then turned into a porcupine and Swiss cheesed him like he just took a walk through Newcastle. But I will always go to bat for Nomoto. Unlike most characters thrown into this situation, he doesn't just bitch and moan like a VR chat player. And that alone just really helps to toughen him up throughout the story and really lets him grab hold of the wheel and make choices for himself. During my watch through of this anime, I came to notice how much it speaks volumes about what the vibes of the anime world were like only a few years ago, showing how much it evolved in such a short amount of time. I mean, hell, one second you're seeing classic fan service, next you're watching someone get their head splattered, and then you go from Unga Bunga Brain to getting hit with the B-plot story about how the bureau that makes these hybrid people might be evil and actually using everyone to try and make the Killing Bites games more demented, and are getting accused of using Hitomi as a test to see if their creations are getting any stronger. And on top of that, you learn that the leaders from each families are gambling the rights to the Killing Bites tournaments, and the technology for making Theranthropes and the research behind them, meaning whoever wins will forever hold a power deadlier than any weapon. But as fights rage on, you learn about how the Buryu actually saved Hitami in the past, so it lets that air of mystery linger around you, making you wonder who's actually right. One of the best things for a piece of entertainment is not being able to predict what's going to happen next. Everyone loves when the story is able to keep you on your toes for the whole ride through. We all remember the first time watching something like Baccano, Fully Cooley, Higana Next, ReZero, and being on the edge of our seats discussing what's to happen, and out of nowhere, Killing Bites is able to capture that. A battle shonen that's the most throw rocks at each other, big boob energy is able to come through with such a unpredictability you never would have imagined. I ended up really enjoying this anime so much, it's such a wild ride all the way through. Except for the goddamn ending, man. Why did they do that to my boy? Everything was going right for him. Maybe he even could have had a cute wife, but no, they just had to come through and blue balls us all, and there isn't even a second season. It's been 8 years. Sure, the manga goes further, and this was just a small arc, but... As always, thank you all for watching. It means the world to me that you guys enjoy the things that I do. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to leave me some comments down below on what you would like me to talk about next. And remember, SHUHARI!